let's go ahead and dive into A Wild Robot. We saw this film.
A Wild Robot.
When did we see it? 3 weeks ago. We were either gonna watch this or what other movie were we? Was this one?
Megapolis.
Megapolis. Thank God we didn't see that because apparently it was absolute
Ash.
trash. And so yeah, we I'm glad we got away from that. Bombed in the box office. I feel bad because the creator put like $100 million of his own money into the film, and it just absolutely burnt down. So terrible stuff. But
He should have had Celsius on ice.
what flavor is that, dude?
It's the sparkling peach vibe,
Okay. That's
white
nice.
peach edition.
Oh.
I didn't have any in the fridge, and I just wanted to like a little starter kicker upper.
There you go, baby. That's what we love to see. Cool. Yeah. So, Wild Robot. We saw this instead of
Poor guy, though.
Megapolis, and yeah, poor dude. Feel bad. But at least the movie was visually cool.
Yeah.
So we watched Wild Robot, 2 animated movies in a row, because the last movie before that was Transformers 1, and we were like, do we do 2 animated movies in a row? And I'm glad we did this one. So Wild Robot's a story about this. By the way, spoiler review. Wild Robot's about this robot who crash lands on this island and basically has to learn how to live with all these animals and live in the wild. It's a wild robot. And
yeah, the big thing is that like at first it's like it's enemies to the animals, you know what I mean? But then it accidentally is like
integrated.
Yeah, it's integrated because they attack the robot and the robot falls on this duck's family. Like this tree with the duck's family in it, and it killed the entire family but the one hatchling. And then so
you know who played Roz?
Who?
The girl from A Quiet Place. Lupita.
Lupita, yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. What, dude? What a cast right there, bro. I know, man. This is kind of crazy.
Pedro Pascal.
Is this a kid from Black Phone? I don't know. Anyway, I think it is. Cool. So Wild Robot, like Brayden said, it's just about getting integrated into that, new world that this thing, this robot's not used to. And the robot is basically owned by this futuristic company. It's set in the future. That the robots are like, not really too much in the future. We have Elon Musk with robots now, dude. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nuts, man. Did you see the one interacting with the one guy at a party?
So this is what I heard, and I really hope this is true because that would make me feel more comfortable. That since they're like early models and they were kind of like stationary, that there was people in like cubicles that like that's why they didn't have a face. So that's like a camera that's like showing who's in front, and that's why the robots actually sounded like people because it's somebody behind it like actually talking and controlling the robot. Just because it's such an early prototype is what I heard.
Dude, honestly though, that's a really good system if you think about it, because you're not. Because
give people jobs still.
That's what I'm saying. Because like that's what's scary about the robots, dude. Is they're saying it could babysit and it could take care of your kids. That takes away nannying jobs and babysitting jobs. These babysitting companies and on all that, and kid care companies. And then you got them doing lawn care. You know what I mean? That gets rid of all of landscaping. So like it's scary stuff, man. It works on plumbing. You know what I mean? Don't tell what the hell this thing's gonna do. There's a funny meme I gotta send you too. No, think about it. But that's really cool because, like you said, it gives people jobs. It sucks because you're sitting in a cubicle all day, but you're still communicating and doing actions through this robot. That's kind of dope. I like that.
Yeah, so that's what I heard.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, I hope that's what it is because they sounded a little too real for my liking.
I hope so.
I was a little freaked out by some of them.
Yeah. No, I know. When he was talking to the one dude at the party, I was like, this is crazy, dude. He like complimented his shoes. He's like, what did he say? The robot said, I'm self-conscious. I was like, what? What do you mean you're self-conscious, bro? Like, you're a robot, dog. But yeah, no. So yeah, so anyway, so this is set in the future. Obviously, like I said, not maybe too far distant future. Where this robot is this big company and it runs this big city, and the robots do all these things for different people, and they have a task. And the robot's main goal, in this case, Roz, which is our robot, the robot
has
basically
to raise the hatchling.
Pretty much, right. So what you do is you go up to this robot and you tell them the task. And you say, hey, your task is this. And the robot will do whatever you say. And when the robot first landed, it was like, okay, I can't communicate with these animals. They are being mean to me. There's a really cool first 15 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, that was the cool part.
So dope. Where it's like running and you're just like going through trees. And the animation style in this movie is beautiful. I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's Big Hero 6 type animation.
Yeah.
But a little bit more comic booky. I don't know how to describe it.
100%.
I loved it. Because it's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think it is DreamWorks. Or no. Yeah, it's DreamWorks because Transformers 1 was Illumination.
No, you're right. No, I remember it's DreamWorks because it was like one of the best DreamWorks rated films of all time.
Which is crazy. Because they did like How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek, right?
It beat How You Train Your Dragon,
Trolls.
or it's like right under How to Train Your Dragon.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But yeah, that's weird because I feel like How to Train Your Dragon has had such a bigger like cultural impact. But I guess maybe long term it'll whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, so anyway,
I heard they're already making a sequel.
For what? Wild Robot?
Wild Robot. Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how you would. I guess I do know how you would do it, but I don't know. I like this being a one-off. But anyway, so it's like, okay, I got to communicate with these animals because these animals are chasing me through these woods and wanting to fight me and cause harm and all this. So then it says I need to learn the language to communicate. It then sits there for like no telling how long, bro. Probably years. And it sits there and just in the forest and all these animals are coming near her. And
they make it seem like it definitely is like probably less than. It's probably less than a year because they still know, and but it goes through maybe it's like a year because it goes through like a whole season cycle. You know what I mean? But they still like know the robot and shit. But it's enough time for it to be like overgrown and stuff. So like, I'd probably say like 1 to 2 years.
That makes sense.
Is a good time frame.
Yeah. So the robot sits there, Roz, and Roz just takes in. It goes into learning mode, whatever, puts a thing in its head, and then it starts to learn the environment. Another reason why, when Roz tried to go back to the place with her little detection thing on her head, it was broken. She couldn't fix it. So that was a big thing. So that's why she couldn't go back to her home when she was running from the animals because they broke her. They messed her up bad, dude. Like
they straight up boxed her
literally
shit when she landed. Like she did
Took
nothing
her arms
wrong.
Off.
Yeah. Like I understand she couldn't understand the language yet, but she was like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I just had like an out of the box thought." So you know how she like learned their language, right, to understand them?
Yeah.
Was she speaking to them in their language at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're probably like the robot comes down and this freaking robot's like,
yeah, for real.
It's like, what the hell? It was just such an out of the box thought, but I was like, is she still talking English or like, what's up?
Well,
or I guess they understood the English. She just didn't understand them.
No, there's no way. I feel like it definitely just started speaking animal. But then my question, if we're gonna go that route, why when the lady came to get Roz at the end?
They can communicate.
That's
what I was thinking. DreamWorks, you got a loophole.
Yeah,
here,
loophole,
man.
dude. This movie's absolute ass, dude. Plot holes everywhere. Terrible, dude.
Everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Joker 2 is way better than this shit. All right. No, so anyway, so it starts to learn the language, starts speaking animal, whatever. And it starts to develop this really cool friendship with this bird because it kills the bird's family.
Yeah. Which it doesn't tell the bird that.
Not at first.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That happens later on. The bomb gets dropped on what's the oh my god, what's the name?
It's such a little cute birdie name. They give him such a little tyke. Long neck.
Bright Bill.
What? Or no, Bright Bill.
Long neck's the old guy.
The older guy.
Yeah, Bill Nighy.
Yeah. Yo, wait.
This dude said a cute little bird name, Long Neck.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, it's Bright Bill. Yeah, Bright Bill is the bird's name.
Bro, wait, which one was Thorn again?
Thorn.
Yeah, that was Mark Hamill's character. I can't remember. I'm like
I
I
thought Mark
remember him his voice so distinctly. He was definitely one of the
the
animals.
bear, right? No.
Yes. Or
What
not
was
the
it?
bear. I think that was someone else. Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no, no,
Thorn.
no, no, no.
Okay, it's actually pissing me off, dude. Hold up. What was Thorn the moose?
I don't know. Thorn is somebody.
Rod Robot Mark Hamill. I don't know, dude.
The
He
bear. No, it's the bear.
it
You're
was the
right.
bear. Okay, why is his name Thorn then? It's a terrible name for a bear.
What a shitty
Yeah,
name.
dude, call him like Harry or something. Anyway, dude, or Long Neck. But no, but no. So they
They were cooking with that one.
they were cooking. They were, dude. You could tell that man got a promotion. But so anyway, so it builds this relationship. It kills this by accident, not on purpose. This bird's family hits them, whatever.
And that's kind of what is like the whole point. Like she ends up like she doesn't have a task and she was like, well, what is my task? And she looks down at the bird and she was like, okay. Assess the situation. I was like, this is my task. Like making
Yeah.
sure that the bird can eat, swim, or not eat, swim, something and fly.
What? Yeah, yeah. Wasn't it also Pedro Pascal's character that came
The
up
fox.
and said, "This is your task," and said
Yes,
it, I think,
yes.
audibly to her, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Because
Or
he was trying to eat it at first, and then she was like,
or
I can't, like I gotta like da da da.
or was it also the beaver at the beginning with the babies, or the possum with the
The
babies? And I
mom.
think she was like, "It's my task to take care of these babies." I don't know. I forgot.
Yo, you're right. She was like, "It's
Yeah,
your task as a mother to take care of him." Da da da.
right.
It was a
Someone said it to him.
combination of like because they're like the two kind of like reoccurring. I would say the most reoccurring of the animals. Like
Mhm.
definitely Pedro Pascal's fox is one of the main three groups with Bright Bill.
Yeah.
But I would say outside of that, like Longneck and the Beaver Mom are like the two that show up the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a mix of them two, like you said, giving her like the audible task of like, because I think one of them said it first, and then like it transitioned to more of the three-part system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was just like raise him, and then it was like we got to make sure he can. I can't remember. Maybe it was like just get stronger. It was like swim, strength, and fly or something like that.
Something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was actually, this is where the movie gets really sentimental, man. And
Yeah.
it really tugs at the heartstrings because you just see this, you see this mom develop, right, in our main character, and it's just it's a beautiful story with Roz and this, and it's really cool because she has like a partnership with the fox too. It's not just the character development between Roz and the Bill,
Bright
whatever
Bill.
it's Bright Bill, but also the relationship between
The Bill.
Roz and Longneck and the fox as well, and them kind of co-parenting, this this little duck, and it's a really really good story, man. And I love that dynamic with just those three alone. And then yeah, anything you want to expand on that?
I was gonna say it's interesting because you never like. It's not like at that point in the movie when they start to like all try and like train Bright Bill,
Mhm.
you don't really like expect this to be the movie you came in to see. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, at least for me, like I was watching it and like the whole thing with the family happened and I was just like, this is completely different from what I thought. But it's very sentimental because it's like you said, you're watching like it goes from like this movie where everyone's against her and she doesn't understand anything to like we slowly start to see her. If you want to take the bigger picture and like compare it to us as humans, like she's starting to like you know belong in the community and she's starting to like make that step into being a mother when she doesn't feel prepared, when she doesn't feel ready. I love the way that they show her like gain consciousness of her emotions
Hmm.
throughout the movie. You know what I mean? And like, everyone starts to depend on her in the sense where they're like, oh, I'm sad she's asleep too, because at the end of the night, she's only like solar powered because her thing was broken.
Yeah.
And like and we'll get to this point probably next when she saves the entire community.
Yeah.
But it's like, I like that with them because even the fox, like Pedro Pascal's character was a bad guy. He was just trying to eat the little bright bill at first. And then he ends up just like, by the end of it, he sticks up for her the most. And like going from like the most hated person in the community, he becomes one of the most beloved because like, he's just like, I don't know, because Roz just is that person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so they do a very good job of making it like inclusive. Like they make her and Bright Bill's relationship, mother and son, great. They make their friendship great. They make the community relationship expand. It's a very well done. Like nothing feels left out and everything feels supported. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it's the pace. You know, kind of go back to your original thought and start with that little bit there was. It was a very different movie, and I agreed. Like when we first started watching it, I was like, okay, so we're just gonna go through the life of a robot in the woods, like what's happening here. But then, like you said, that Pedro Pascal was in it, so I'm like, what the hell, what's going on? And then eventually the fox comes in, and there's like a whole dynamic there. So like you said, very different movie than what I expected, but not in a bad way. Like it wasn't bad; it was just very different. It took me a minute to kind of get used to that. And I know Brayden probably felt the same. But yeah, so the reason that they're training this bird Brightbill is because they have a big migration, right? And you know, he is a lot smaller than normal. He's like the odd one out. He's exactly. So you know, usually the Ruts, they're a little smaller, you know, not as developed, and that's what happened. Obviously, he didn't probably get the nutrients he needed either.
Him. They were like, he's not supposed to fly.
Exactly.
But he knew
it. Fly, baby. Fly, eagle, fly. But no, so he has to kind of, you know, learn how to adapt with that. And that whole moment's really, really great with trying to get him to migrate. My question is, did the winter happen before the migration or after? That happened before, correct?
No, they do it for the winter.
You're right. Okay, so yeah. So exactly, because the birds migrate outside of winter because they can't hibernate. So they're getting ready for that. Whatever. The best part of this movie for me, that was probably the most like emotional and like
when she stayed,
heart touching. Yes, when she runs with them and gets them going, and then
because this is just after the big fight.
Yes, they get in a fight.
This is just after it was revealed that she killed his parents,
right?
And that, you know,
he doesn't feel like was his mom.
Yeah. He has like all in all, basically they like everyone is basically for Roz now, but because of all of the shit that's happened to her and all the backlash she has gotten, everyone's like still kind of giving her shit. They kind of revealed to him that she killed his parents, and then it kind of becomes like this stressful moment. And then it puts them from like, it's so weird how you can really feel it. It goes from like mother to son to like, I don't know if I can trust you anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's weird how you can feel it in the air, but like it shifts so quickly.
And Ra's still trying to figure out her emotions. It's a very interesting dynamic because she doesn't know how to feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And that was really interesting.
She's a robot.
Exactly. Doesn't know how to deal with the situation. You know what I mean? I just thought that was a very, very interesting dynamic. So I'm with you there.
Because then you have everyone leave. Like he flies away. Like, you know, she runs away, chases after them. Like is by herself. The fox goes alone. All the animals try to hibernate.
That's the first.
It felt like
time.
a breakup. You know what I mean? Of everybody.
Literally, I feel like I was watching The Notebook. But I no the moment where she's running with Brightbill, and that was the first time that we've seen Roz's emotions come out. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time. Like we saw her obviously have different emotions and come to terms with them. She was like
overstimulated for the first time.
Exactly. She was actually getting emotional, and I loved that moment when she goes by the trees and like holds onto the tree and reaches out for Brightbill. It was just such like a mother to daughter, you know, parent to kid. Like, you're in college now, you're an adult. There you go do your own thing. And it just felt like it was a very they did a really good job with that scene, the music in the background, the visuals. And you could just see, and then it did a close-up on Roz's eyes, and Roz's eyes didn't really change. But you could just see it almost in the robot's face. That pain, that hurt, but the love at the same time.
Yeah, it's
very interesting.
It felt unrobotic.
Yeah, literally, for the first time in the film. And that, for me, was the height of this movie. That, for me, was the best part of this film. incredible stuff. It felt the most grounded and felt like there was a actual like. There's a lot of themes in this movie, but that theme just hit me the hardest. It's what I connected with the most, and I thought that was, especially since we're at that age in our lives, right? Where we're kind of in that moment of our parents are like, here you
migration.
go, there you go, figure it out, you know?
No, I agree. Because for me it was that, and I really do like the community part where like everyone was hibernating.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Roz ends up going out because that's what ended up happening next. She ends up like hiding out, and like everyone thinks she's gone, and then she ends up finding Pedro Pascal's character, and he's like, Roz, what are you doing here? And I think he just went to like their old house just to be there, like it was cold.
Yeah.
And then so they built a fire and then decided to save everybody because it was way too cold. So Roz runs around the entire thing. She's like smoking, her things are glitching, like she's fucked up.
She lost a foot along the way as well.
Yeah, you can clearly see she's been doing this for hours. She saved every animal in the forest and brought them all together. And they have this come together moment where like, Pedro Pascal's character steps up and like Fox is like, I know you guys hate me, but like you see what she did. We don't all have to like each other, but in here, I really like that moment. It was like the in here thing. Like outside of here, we're all, you can do whatever you want. You're your own person, but in here, you respect this space. And I liked how everyone was like, you're right. And they were like, it's for her. Like, for her, she did this. Respect this space. And like the bear was the first guy. He was like, I promise I won't hurt anyone. He cuddled up with someone immediately. Yeah. And it's like, I think that's a beautiful moment because that's like a lot of groups, even today, you know what I mean? Regardless of if it's like something like, just something for fun, if you're fighting like an addiction or something like that. Like there's a lot of time where like people, you see in acting class, you'll go in acting class and you'll see people and you're like, wow, that person's an actor. Like they don't look like an actor. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Right. And then like, but like when you walk out of there, they're a completely different person. But when they come in, you drop that guard. For me, it was just so relatable. And I just really like that like humanity moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that scene was super cool. But the scene I was really talking about is like the next one where she basically like, she feels outcasted finally, tries to leave.
One question though.
Yeah.
When it comes to the hibernation thing, do they just go right back to killing each other?
I think at that point, I mean,
because you got to survive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you got to kill. You got to start going after your best bud that you made. That bear that was hugging. You know what it was? The bear was checking the distance. He was ready to strike, dude. He was doing a little Alex Pereira, little hop.
As soon as they walk out, he's just sitting outside the door like.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come give me a hug, dude. Just fucking eats him.
No, just takes a bite. I think in most societies, yes, but I think maybe this forest they all decided to be friends. Bear went vegetarian. Yeah, right.
Anyways, good.
Yeah, no, my biggest point though is I really like that moment, but I like the scene after. I like where she basically like felt like this part was actually before where she saved everybody, but where she went to the top, she signaled the radio thing, and that ends up coming back. I really like when they tried to take her back, they're like, you're not meant to be here. Like, you know what I mean? You have to come with us. And she's like, I'm not coming with you. And then she turns into like the different animals when she's with the animals come together to save her. And she like, at some point is swinging, and some point she's like running like a deer, and some point she's swimming. And I really liked that moment because it was just like, it was almost like a rejection to what she was like destined for. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm going to write my own destiny. I'm going to be where I want to be type thing. And like, it was like a meaningful moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like she fought for all this for so long and she didn't give up,
Right.
So, no, but yeah, I don't know. I talked a bit about a big chunk there. If you have anything to expand on.
No. Yeah. You hit it on the head. I think it's the theme is definitely about, creating your own destiny, like you said, and creating your own path. And, just because society wants you to be a certain way doesn't mean you have to be that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Be yourself. And I think in a time nowadays where we want to fit into groups and we feel like we have to fit into a group and really you could just be yourself, I think it's a very important message. And I think that it was done.
This movie
very,
had
very well.
So many messages, which is crazy, but it definitely had like five different messages in this
a lot of themes, a lot of symbolism, a lot of messages, very well done. It was a really fun film, man. It was a really fun film. So after that, eventually the company's like, okay, bet you're gonna run from us. We'll be right back. They come back, dude, and they start just blowing stuff up, dude. They start dropping bombs, throwing grenades, dude. It's like there's a lot going on right now, you know. And eventually, she's like, all right, you know what? Just to save these people, I'll go back.
I'm
gonna go back. And there's a really, really good moment when she goes back and she starts working again for these people as a robot, and Bright Bill comes down and he's doing the migration again, and he sees Roz there. And that moment was really, really.
And this time he knows it's Roz, not when Long Neck caught a fucking shot to the head.
Ate that guy. Oh yeah, dude, Long Neck dies, bro. R.I.P. Long Neck. Dude got blasted, bro. Dude got got a longer neck, bro.
Long Neck died.
Yeah, dude. R.I.P. Long Neck, bro. That was
sorry about that spoiler, guys.
We didn't mean to drop that bomb on you, dude.
Yeah, their first migration. It was basically like a Tom Brady moment, Sure. The quarterback took a tumble, and little Bright Bill Brady stepped up and led the pocket, and he led the migration.
Yep.
But the career was over for Long Bill.
And then no one remembers
or Long Neck.
No one remembers Long Neck at all.
Yeah,
you know
that guy.
No.
Yeah.
No one remembers him.
But anyways.
But no. So yeah, R.I.P. Long Neck, dude.
R.I.P. Long Neck.
But yeah, so this is the second time around for the migration, and they technically apparently got rid of Boz's memory. Remember, they rebooted her and all that stuff. But there's still part of, because that's the thing too. There's that moment when before she leaves, when Bright Bill's like, dude, Roz, they're gonna get rid of your memory. You know what I mean? You're not gonna remember me. And she was like, you will always be a part of me, whatever. And even though they did get rid of her memory, you could see when she sees Bright Bill, there's a part in her that's like, that's my kid.
That's the humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment.
It's a beautiful film.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Anything else you want to add on to it?
No, I think that's pretty much it. That's it on the head, I think.
All right. Well, R.I.P. Long Neck. Let's do our reviews, our rankings. Or sorry, like
Long Neck! My boy.
R.I.P. that man. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you should.
Now we're doing 3 in a row, so at least we'll remember what the order is.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie wasn't bad. It's not my type of film. You know what I'm saying? It's not my favorite, but there's really nothing wrong with it except all the plot holes. So I'll probably give this movie. It was really good. I liked it, but I feel like they could have. I feel like the thing that got me to the one negative is when you have a bright spot and a peak, like when Bright Bill goes away for the first time, and that moment that I talked about, that was, probably the most emotional part for me, is then you're at the all-time high, so the rest of the movie is kind of below that, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you should then have something at the end that's even more impactful, and there was just nothing as impactful as that moment, so the rest of the movie just doesn't seem as great for me as that moment. So I'll give this movie, this is kind of a low ranking, but it's not really anything against it. It's just for my type of what I want to see. I'm going to go 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. A solid 9 out of 10.
Yes, I was flirting with 8.5, but.
Well, it's funny because like what you described is like, I think maybe how I felt, because I did like that later part better.
Okay.
So I think for me, I didn't think of it that way until you just said it. That was perfectly said. Like, I like that. I was able to find, I guess, enough relevancy with that last part, like I did with that part, that made me feel, Well, but I like that. I didn't even think of that. That is a really good point.
Well, that's how films work, right? The climax, the most crazy part is the climax of a film, and usually the climax happens, kind of toward the end, but then that resolution is what makes it is like usually a better moment than the climax. For me, the climax just kind of was a better moment.
Well, I was gonna say, because that's what I was saying. I didn't even think about, like, the climax in this movie was like earlier than I feel like it normally would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's like what I find interesting.
Yeah. I agree. Because maybe I don't know. Maybe we're misreading the climax. Maybe it is a little bit later. I don't know. but I know that for like what we're saying is that just kind of felt like the moment for me, for Raja's character of finding her emotions, right? And that's why that moment was so important for me. But yeah, so that makes sense though. So if you feel like if they feel like they did have a bigger moment at the end, then that just makes total sense on why that ending was more impactful for you. It wasn't that way for me. But yeah, really fun film. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You guys let us know your ranking down below. Go
freaking watch it.
Go watch it, baby. You guys know what's poppin'. Go check it out. Really, really fun film that definitely deserves attention, baby.